I've been studying in Salamanca, Spain for 2 months, and it's been a gradual process for me to assimilate myself to the culture. Before one even has a chance to think about the little differences of Spanish life, the first and most consistent challenge is the language barrier.
Oh God, language barriers all the time. I find a lot of people in Salamanca itself, like from Salamanca, don't really speak a lot of English.
Well, I was surprised that I was able to understand some of my professors as well as I was, but people in stores, it's harder for me to understand because I don't feel like, I think the professors here articulate a lot, so you're better able to understand them. But yeah, when I first got here, I couldn't really understand people in like the grocery store.
The most difficult thing about learning Spanish through immersion is finding a comfortable level of involvement.
I've found that listening, I'm able to understand people a lot better than before, but I'm still nervous about speaking. It's intimidating, so I haven't really utilized my speaking skills as much.
And it is quite difficult, you know, but like still you have to kind of throw yourself in the deep end. You have to give something to receive something, you know. Like for instance, I went out on a night with like 6 Spanish alone, you know, and like it was really good fun. We had a really good time. But it's just kind of, it's the difference between being a joiner and not being a joiner. You've got to be a joiner about it.
Even for the rest of Europe, Spain is notorious for having a really slow-paced lifestyle, a really drawn-out eating schedule, long nights, short mornings, frequent breaks. It's a lot different.
Oh, the meal times, that's the big thing for me. Is like at home we usually eat around 5 or 6 o'clock. Here we don't eat till 9:30, 10 o'clock. So that's the big thing for me. I mean, I've been here for a month and I'm still not quite used to it, but it's getting better.
I've noticed people really take their time here. They're like in the US, it's really like you get in and then you get out, but they definitely, you wait a lot.
The nightlife is a lot later here. I mean, in North America, I'm so used to the bars closing at 2 or 3 a.m. And here, they never close. They don't stop serving, so the nightlife never really dulls until, 8 in the morning.
I think the weirdest thing for me to get used to so far, as far as talking and interacting with the locals, is just the personal space issue. It's pretty formal when you meet somebody for the first time in this country to, if it's a girl, to lean in and kiss on both cheeks, which is kind of weird for me. It's not something I even do with my own immediate family, so I've had a little trouble getting used to it, and I finally was starting to get comfortable with it just here recently, and I went to this house party that was hosted by this girl from Taiwan, and so we're filing in, and there's like 4 girls that went in the door before me, and the girls like leaned in and kissed her on both cheeks like any other European group of people that were meeting, and then it got to me, and I kind of instinctively leaned in since we're in Spain, and she just kind of gave me the Matrix. She was like, stuck her hand out like this. And I was like, kind of stuck in this awkward limbo. I ended up shaking her hand and then disappearing and not making eye contact with her for a while.
Like, I had that when I went to Argentina, because in Argentina, if you meet a boy for the first time, he kisses you on the cheek and everything, kisses you on both cheeks, and it's kind of like a welcoming, like kind of a show of kind of, it's a sign of acceptance. Well, like anywhere else, like it takes a certain amount of time to get out of your comfort zone. Because if you're away from home, then you're effectively out of your comfort zone. It doesn't matter where you are, if you're in the States, if you're in South America, if you're in France, if you're in Spain, it still takes a certain amount of time. And it personally took me about 5 days to kind of get acclimatized to the whole thing.
What's your favorite Spanish food?
The tortilla patata, by far. Tortilla español, it's not like a tortilla, it's almost like a quiche, I guess. But yeah, I really like that. It's like quiche with egg and potato, and sometimes they have ham and whatnot in it.
Las empanadas, jamón y queso.
Good choice.
At 5 in the morning.
Good.
When you're drunk. Perfect.
I like the ice cream.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I really like the tapas. I know there's lots of different kinds to choose from, but potatoes, or like their patatas. They have a really good sauce, what's good, and the paella.
I've not tried a lot of Spanish foods, but yeah, paella is nice.
So we were wandering around town and we went to this little place, this little kind of sports bar looking place. And I didn't recognize the name of anything on the menu, but they had pictures of stuff. And they had this one dish that looked really good. I didn't know what it was actually going to be, but I went ahead and ordered it. So obviously it was just a bowl of intestines. And I didn't know any better. And so I was like, oh, then I guess I'll just get a hamburger. But I was still hoping to get something more exotic than a hamburger, and so I went out up to the desk later to see if I could get some tapas, which are like appetizers. And everything was just this little bread ball, this little breaded sphere of different stuff on different plates. I couldn't tell what any of it was, but I figured, you know, it looks like a chicken nugget, so it can't be too scary. So I pointed the first one, and I was like, quiero uno de estos. And the guy goes, you know what that is? Same guy. I was like, no. And he goes, labios de cerdo, which means pig lips. So I decided not to get pig lips. I go to the next one, and I point at that, and he goes, you know what that is? I was like, no. And he goes, so between lips and brains, I felt like my options were relatively limited. For any student who decides to study abroad, it's important to keep an open mind and remember that you're here to be made uncomfortable. In fact, for me, it's been the most interesting part of the experience. For the Argonaut, I'm Kevin Otzenberger.